Solving systems of equations using elimination, lesson 11 notes, example number 3. So let's go through and let's decide what do we need to use in order to solve these systems of equations. So first, do we have opposites? No, we do not have any opposites. Do we have identical terms? No, we do not have identical terms. Do we have multiples? Does 2 divide into 3, or does 4 divide into 5? So you would check that in your calculator. You would do 3 divided by 2. That would give you a decimal, so no. They're not multiples. Then you would do 5 divided by 4. And again, you would get a decimal, so they are not multiples. So this problem is the none of the above. Since it's none of the above, we need to multiply both equations by the coefficient of one of the variables. So we need to decide, do we want to multiply them both by the 5 and the 4, or do we want to do the 2 and the 3? Do we want to multiply by the 5 and the 4, or the 2 and the 3? Now, I would choose the 2 and the 3 because they are smaller numbers. If you want to do the 5 and the 4, you can. For the notes, let's all do the same thing, but if this were your homework, you could use either one. But again, I want to use the smaller numbers, so I'm going to use the 2 and the 3. Okay. So, I'm going to put parentheses around both equations. Since the coefficient is 2 in the numerator, or the top equation, I should say, then I'm going to put the 2 down on the bottom. Since the 3 is on the bottom equation, I'm going to put the 3 at the top. Now, we have to decide the signs. If you remember, if the original signs are the same, so because the same signs here, I need different signs here. Because I have the original signs are the same, I need to have different signs on the outside. Otherwise, I'm going to get two positive numbers. So you can decide which you want to make negative. Let's do the 2 negative. All right? You could make the 3 negative and the 2 positive, or the 2 negative and the 3 positive. It wouldn't matter. So let's make the 2 negative. So now let's multiply. The top equation, 3 times 5 would give me 15k. 3 times 2p would be positive 6p. 3 times 6 is 18. And again, just so you know, I did 3 times 5k, 3 times 2p, and 3 times 6. Now for the bottom. Negative 2 times 4k is negative 8k. Negative 2 times 3p, negative 6p. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. All right. Now, I'm ready to cancel out, eliminate a variable. I have positive 6p and negative 6p, so they are going to eliminate the p. That's going to eliminate the p. They'll cancel out and eliminate the p term. So 15k minus 8k is 7k. That's a positive 10, so 18 plus 10 is 28. Isolate the k by dividing both sides by 7. And we would get k equals 4. All right. Now, you could actually choose any one of those 4 equations. You could choose this equation here, this equation here, this equation here, and this equation here. You could choose any one of them to plug that 4 back into. Now, the reason why I wouldn't choose either one of these over here is because we multiplied them. We made them bigger numbers. So I'm going to stay away from those. So I'm going to use the top equation. Again, you don't always have to use the top one. That just happens to be the one I used. So I'm going to use the top equation, and I'm going to substitute the 4 in for the k, which means over here, where I see the k, I need to put parentheses. And that 4 will replace the k. So start with multiplication. 5 times 4 is 20. Bring down the rest of the equation. And now it becomes a 2-step problem. If you want to, you can box your variable term here. I'm going to take the constant term of 20 to the other side of the equation. The inverse would be to make it a negative 20. That allows me to cancel the 20s. Bring down the 2p equals 6 minus 20 is negative 14. Last step, divide both sides by 2 to isolate the variable. Cancel out the 2's. P equals negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7. So I have k equals 4, p equals negative 7. So going in alphabetical order, it would be k first, then the p. So k equals 4, p equals negative 7. So let's use the GeoGebra app to check our answers. I already typed them in. So I typed in the original equations. Now, again, I didn't have x and y, so k is first in the alphabet, so I made k the x. P is last, well, going in alphabetical order, p would be last between the two. I made that y. So let's see where they intersect. They intersect at 4, negative 7. 4, negative 7 is our answer, so we were correct. All right, so that is it for example number 3. Please make sure you have everything written down, and if you have any questions, please let me know.